Hi, I'm Tanya Memi. Right now I'm standing in the Guatemalan mountains just outside of Jalapa. I'm here with a nonprofit organization called Wells of Hope. Wells of Hope builds wells and provides clean drinking water for the communities and people around them. Normally these people would have to walk miles to come to a place like this. It's a watering hole where they would gather their drinking water, just like these girls are doing. The water is highly contaminated and very dirty. Just over 10 years ago, with not very much money, but a whole lot of passion, Ted van der Zalm and his wife Miriam decided to make a difference.
I believe we all have something to give back, but it's for each person to decide, how am I called to give back?
There's no difference between the people here and the people at home other than the fact that they were born in the wrong place at the wrong time.
In a country like this, you can work as hard as you want, and you're going to be working for your survival more than anything.
Once I seen the necessity here in the region of Jalapa, I thought anything I could do to help would be good.
When we come together, each one bringing their own individual gifts and talents to the table, mountains can be moved. Wells of hope for those who thirst. People thirst for many things in life, especially in the developing world. The poor, they thirst for medical care. They thirst for an education, an opportunity to learn, to discover the gifts and talents that they are blessed with. They thirst for suitable housing, that when the rainy season comes through, they have a roof over their head, a place to live. And of course, people thirst for life-giving water. We were doing a pump test and the whole village was there. There's this one woman, she was crying. I go, Maria, what's wrong? What's up? She goes, Ted, I gave birth 14 times. 7 of my children died because of the dirty water they drank. She goes, every time I gave birth or every time I was expecting a child, I prayed to God, please, Lord, don't let it be a girl. I don't want my baby girl to have the guilt that I feel for having brought that dirty water home to my children. And she just kept crying. She says, I can't believe my girls will never have to walk for water again.
Up to date, we've drilled 9 wells. We probably benefited over 15,000 people.
It's not just the gift of love, it's a gift of life. This is why Ted does what he does, and Ben does what he does, and my dad does what he does. None of them are getting paid. They're just doing it from the goodness of their heart. What keeps them going is the look in the people's eyes when they take that first sip of water.
When we bring water to the front doors of these homes, the children, their health improves. Women no longer have to walk these distances, and women have an opportunity to actually discover some of their own gifts and talents and be able to be a tremendous contribution to their family. Children also have a desire to discover the gifts and talents that they are blessed with so that they also can become the best version of themselves. But without education, that is not possible. Imagine yourself being in a school like this kind of a classroom. What sort of quality education can be provided to these children in such a learning environment?
As a mason by trade, when I got here the very first time, I did lay some block on the first school. The following year, I was running 3 schools. We're now building the 13th school.
We were looking at one today in the distance, and I said, Dad, I go, how awesome does that feel? You built that school. We had this awesome moment together, and the school was full of kids. There were horses in the background and sprawling over this gorgeous field, and it had just enriched this entire community tremendously. And all I heard in the background were laughing kids, and I mean, there's nothing better to hear in life than the sound of laughing children.
Hola! Personally, what I get out of this is the satisfaction of seeing the children hugging us every time that we come down, seeing their smiles and their thank yous, and I know that we're going to come back for years and years and years to come.
I can get very emotional because I can see that we make a huge impact, because now the kids are wanting to come to school, because the school is actually a better place than their houses. I will go back to the schools I've been, and from far they call my name. Yeah, and I like that.
In the mountain regions of Guatemala, many people thirst for suitable housing. We have many people who come to our Wells of Hope camp in Guatemala, and we allow them the opportunity to come to know one of these families, to build relationships with one of these families, to get to know Maria, her children, and then to provide a house for her.
About a year and a half ago, my dad called me. He said, "Will you meet me in Guatemala next week?" There was one afternoon that we had a day off, and I met Olympia. And she had sadness in her eyes that I had never seen before. And she's like, "Look, this is the land that we have. I own this land. It's my dream. It is my dream to have a house here one day. But I don't have the money to build it. And I'm living in this other house with 11 people. I don't have a husband. He took off on me. I'm trying to provide for these kids. They have no money. They have so little." And I walked up to her and I said, "Well, how would you like me to come back within the year and build you a house?" Seeing this come to fruition and become a reality is just, it's probably the most fulfilling thing I've ever done.
We build 4 or 5 houses every year. We provide food and clothing for just the poorest of the poor in the area and the most desperate families.
Last year we had a village that took the initiative and they built a house for a person that didn't have a home. For us, that's a sign that maybe we are making a change. We are not the one that should keep building houses. The community should start taking responsibility for the people that are homeless in their communities.
There are many ways to get involved with Wells of Hope. Everyone is called, but we are all called in a different way. It's not enough just to be financially successful. Then what? To whom much is given, much is expected in return.
The needs of the people that are down here is just incredible. I mean, it got me so deep that I had to come back and come back and come back. There's so much yet to be done. But if we don't have the funds, then it's pretty hard for us to go on and continue and make it very effective.
I've seen how far a dollar goes, and I know that 95% of the money that I donate goes directly to the cause, and that makes me feel good.
I believe in the message that Jesus said we should love our neighbors, we love ourselves, and that's why I come to Guatemala in order to try to accomplish that.
We who are blessed with so much, we have a responsibility to look beyond ourselves. When women at night go to bed and pray, "Dear Lord, send food, help me feed my family, help me feed my children. Dear Lord, my child is sick, how am I going to cure? I can't afford the medicine. Dear Lord, it's raining, I don't have enough money to put a roof over my head, what do I do?" We in North America have the opportunity to be the answer to the prayers of these people.